All right, guys, today's gonna be a 5-minute transmissions on this 2013 JX35 Infiniti. I'm not gonna show you every step. I got a Pathfinder video I'm gonna stick up over here. Check that out if you wanna see every step. They're pretty much exactly the same. If you just wanna know how to pull this one out, watch till the end. All right, let's get straight to it, guys. All right, guys, I'm working on this 2013 Infiniti JX35. But I think I've got my top done. Took my air shroud, my air box, the shifter cable and bracket. That's my 16 bracket bolt in the back. Showed you the top two bell bolts. I just wanted to show you where they went. That's where they go to, okay guys? Right in the middle. Two bell bolts in the top. And then that's the dipstick bolt. And I use this contraption to hang the transmission from the two shifter bolt holes, and unplug that plug back there. So that's pretty much it. Right back there is where that 16 millimeter was. All right, guys, here's the rundown from the bottom so far. I'm ready to take the subframe out. Took the wheels and tires, front shield, ball joints, pried with my S hook, used my air hammer. Then I did the exhaust. Then this rear mount bracket. And this is the rear mount through bolt, sway bar bolts, and then the rack bolts. And then there was 110, there should be two, but there was 110 holding lines to the subframe. So now I'm ready for the subframe. There's the rear mount bracket bolts I was talking about. Sway bar, you just loosen the front ones because the front of the sway bar bracket's slotted. And I think it's ready to come out. Put bracket lines on it back there. It's holding me up a little. There's a mount right here. And there's a vacuum hose on this front mount. The main difference I've seen between the Pathfinder and this one is this has this giant hub on it that makes it so you don't have to heat it up. Just drove it off of there with an air hammer. But I had to take the manifold off first. So the manifold has to come off first. All right, it might look easier to take the bolts off here, but it's not. Take the shield off and just unbolt the whole manifold. These end up stripping and you end up fighting them. I've tried it before, trust me. Take the whole manifold off, unplug your O2 sensors, remove the whole manifold. And then I remove that mount. There you can see the bracket on top that's on top of the T case. There's bolts that go in from this direction, these ones. And then that's the 16 on the top I took off of the tranny. And there's a 16 hidden down here, it's hard to see. And I took this mount off the back. The long ones are on the top. And there's all the transfer case bolts except for one. I'm about to pull the transfer case now. Don't forget to unbolt the drive shaft. It's kind of stuck on the rack. We'll lower this side of the rack. Drive shaft out of the way. Alright guys, the most important things to pay attention to. Check for rear main leaks. This one's leaking. That's not as important, but definitely make sure you have both your dowels. Okay, you gotta make sure you have two dowels and you didn't leave them in the core. There's a dowel here on this one and there's a dowel here. And see how there's no hole in this flex plate on this side? There's a hole here and this is where the bolts go. But there's a hole in one spot, but not on the other. You gotta pay attention to your converter. It might have these stupid studs on it. Yep. See how there's these studs? Gotta make sure those are in the holes. Put it in one way or 180 the other way. You can't put it in 90 off. I got both my washers and my clamp. Oh, couldn't take. Put that back on. Stick that back on here. Take this out. Get all my little plugs off. I'm ready to go. For the transfer case. It's got this 12mm plug in it. Just take this plug out and fill this transfer up until the gear oil comes out. This transfer takes gear oil. Alright guys, I got her full. This Nissan has a dipstick, so I'm going to start with 4. Alright guys, I got done with this 2013 JX35. It will need programmed if you put a new transmission in it, so beware. I'm gonna stick a couple videos up over there. Check them out, I'd appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, best way to support my channel. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. On to the next one.